Am I, M25, insecure for being mad that my girlfriend, F25, defends her baby dad? My girlfriend of almost a year seems to defend her ex-baby dad when I say things I dislike about him, and I find it infuriating. For example, every time he drops their child off I have to strap his car seat because her baby dad cannot properly do it. The car seat belongs to her and I brought up today to her that if he doesn't want to learn how to do it that he needs to get his own car seat, so strapping in the car seat isn't an everyday occurrence, and that I find it pathetic that his child is 2 years old and he still does not know how to strap it in. Her response was that he has a hard time getting the straps in, and that he was tired of hearing this, bitch, that the car seat wasn't put in properly. I feel like she constantly excuses his bad habits and parenting, and it low-key makes me think she hasn't moved on. You definitely shouldn't be saying anything about him in front of her kid. That would be extremely inappropriate and she would have a responsibility to speak up on his defense. Take yourself out of their relationship. It's not your kid or your responsibility. Wait inside while they do the exchange. This is the downside to dating someone with a kid. I suggest keeping your opinions about baby daddy to yourself. If you can't deal with their drama, move on. She probably just wants her child strapped in the correct way. You're a grown adult. If you don't want to strap her kid in, then tell them to do it. Don't do it and then complain. Why don't you stop doing the car seat? Baby daddy really should have his own damn car seat and be a proper adult and go to the fire department to have them check it if he's not confident in his own installation abilities. You need to take yourself out of their co-parenting relationship. The most important thing I want you to remember is that her baby daddy is the father of her child. Forever and evermore. You should never be badmouthing a child's father. It's not your job, let it go. She's not hung up on him because of this, my God. Yes, it's pathetic he can't get it together, but at this point your girlfriend just wants her baby to be safe, and if that means she personally gets the car seat set up, she's willing to go that. And she's probably envisioning 16 more years of conflicts and is saving her energy for the next thing. If you don't want to strap the baby in, tag out. Or don't be involved with someone who has a child and an ex in the picture. How would you feel about being the sperm donor for your sister, F27, and her wife, F29? So, as the title says, my sister and fiancé would like me to be their sperm donor in the near future, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'll first give some more context on why me. The fiancé only has 2 sisters, and I do have one more brother, M29. But they don't really want him to be the donor, because he has autism and doesn't look a lot like my sister, personality-wise and also physically. So, I am left. I have the same blonde curls and a similar personality, and have always been pretty close to her. So I understand why they would prefer me over my brother. Of course they can also choose to go for a donor they don't know, but they would like their kid to be able to also see their biological father. And my sister would also prefer to at least have some DNA from our family, plus going this route can take way longer. So now we are at my dilemma. I absolutely love children, and would love to be a father once I am older. I also would love to help out my sister and fiancé, who I know have it more difficult when it comes to having children, but something in my gut feeling is still making me unsure. The idea of having my own biological child with my sister's wife feels off. The idea of sitting at their kid's first birthday with everybody knowing it's biologically my child feels off, and I don't know how to shake it. My mom thinks it's a good idea, my dad is skeptical, and my girlfriend is in between. I am not sure what to do, and my sister asked me to know what I think before February, so that they can start looking for alternative option for if I would say no. How would you guys feel about this situation? If you're uncomfortable, you're uncomfortable. Trust your gut on this. Unless you are 100% in, this is a terrible idea. No. I have a good friend who did this. She'd had a hysterectomy at the age of 19, so they used her wife's eggs and her brother's sperm, so she still have a biological connection to the kids. The kids are 10 and 12 now and all parties seem happy with it. But it's definitely a big ask, and you wouldn't be a jerk for deciding it's not for you. Go with your gut feeling and don't do it. Perhaps speak with a therapist who specializes in fertility options, issues to get an unbiased opinion and support, if you're still not sure. If you do decide to give your sperm to them, see a lawyer first to draw up a proper contract to protect your rights, including what you would want to happen if they have your child, and then both aren't here anymore. I wish y'all well. If your brother has autism, it doesn't exempt you from passing those genetics. That's not how genetics works. I have a very similar situation. I said yes, but it didn't come to that yet. My sis is older, so she is doing IV first, and the girlfriend is younger, so it can wait. I am not crazy about kids, although I'd like to have some in future, but they live in a different country, so I'll just be a cool uncle, and I'm fine with it. Take into account that if you say yes, you will not be the father of the kid. It's their kid, not yours. Don't get emotionally attached like you are the father. It's nephew, niece. Also, make sure everyone on the family is aware of that. and don't take any kind of responsibility for the kid just cause it's yours biologically. I, 27F, am not invited to spend Christmas with boyfriends, 34M, family. Thought? For context, my boyfriend and I have been dating for 2 years and have been living together for 4 months. All of my family lives in UK, so it is too expensive for me to fly over to see them during the holidays. When I brought up holiday plans to my boyfriend, he told me that I am only allowed to come Christmas dinner, and that Christmas morning is reserved for immediate family. Christmas has always been a big deal to me, and I see it as a way to bring people together and would never imagine excluding anyone. He told me it's only ever been the 5 of them for Christmas morning, and that it'll upset his sister and mum to change the dynamic. I'm very hurt by this because I feel like they don't view me as family like I viewed them, and they know I'll be alone on Christmas. My boyfriend thinks I'm making a big deal out of it, and said that things would change when we get engaged, had kids, but I don't think that should matter. I can't decide if I'm overreacting or if it is a big deal. I've always been told that whatever you and your partner argued about or what annoys them about you will only become x10 worse after marriage, so I feel like this is something that needs to be talked about prior to being engaged. Has he actually talked to his sister and his mom about it? Because who knows, maybe she actually doesn't care. I was with my ex over 10 years and still wasn't family enough to be invited to Christmas or even family birthdays. Save yourself some pain and stress, and find someone who values you more than keeping their outdated traditions. Once the kids are adults, the dynamic is supposed to change. Wow, that is so incredibly rude. You've been together 2 years, not 2 months. What is so special and secret about their Christmas morning that they feel the need to exclude you? Are they really that awful that they would rather you be alone Christmas morning? I'd tell my boyfriend to stuff it. He can spend the whole damn holiday without me. I guarantee you this man will never propose to you and you will waste your time. Find a new boyfriend with a welcoming, kind family. It's fine if you aren't included in an immediately family-only event. But he should be staying home with you since you are supposed to be his immediate family now. You ultimately have a boyfriend problem. New boyfriend for New Year's. He is one as of a BF. I'm sorry your boyfriend doesn't value enough to advocate for you. Good to know what a wimp he is now so you can find a new date for New Year's. My boyfriend, M34, is making me, F23, choose? Okay, so this is a long post, so bear with me please. I've been in a relationship with a guy for a few months now. My best friend, Brienne, who I met at college 5 years ago, wasn't thrilled when I first started dating this guy, because of our age difference and his job, which, in her words, causes a power imbalance in our relationship. She also doesn't like people in this profession, so one could say that she was a bit biased. She advised me against dating him and wasn't happy when we made it official, but after I explained to her that I'm not breaking up with him, she respected that. Still wasn't happy but also understood it was ultimately my decision. After some time, I thought about taking them both out so they can meet each other, big mistake. I was hoping that once Brienne met him, it would change how she sees him and how she sees our relationship. Not only did it not change, but it made everything even worse. She said that he is not a good guy, that our relationship wasn't going to end well for me, and other bad things about him. She didn't insist, she just said that she has to advise me as my best friend and be honest with me. Moving forward, less than a week later, my boyfriend tells me that I have to stop talking to Brienne and cut her out of my life. It caught me off guard. Brienne is my best friend, and although she doesn't like my boyfriend or our relationship, she respects my decision to stay with him and hasn't talked of him or our relationship again. I asked him why, and he said that he thinks Brienne is a bad influence. He then said that he also doesn't like my other friend, Nikki, who by the way he has never even met as Nikki lives away. That confused me so much. He said that I have to stop talking to them or hanging out with them and told me to delete or block their numbers. I said that there's no way I'm doing that, and then he said that it's either them or him. My jaw dropped. I tried to resonate with him but nothing. I haven't stopped crying. I don't know what to do. I love my friends more than anything, but I also really want to be with him and I'm developing serious feelings for him. He treats me very nicely and I feel really happy in this relationship. I'm at a loss. It's because your friend is right. I likely didn't need to read past the age difference and title to know your boyfriend is the issue here. You should break up. Unless you've left something out that is important to the story, he is trying to isolate you from those who care about you so he can continue to control you. Once you have no one else to lean on, it'll be that much easier to abuse you. You should listen to your friend. She obviously can see what you can't because you're caught up in your feelings. Seems like your friend Brienne is a good judge of character. Any partner that after a few months and for no other reason than he doesn't like them, thinks you should cut of your friends is dangerous and a walking red flag. So take his ultimatum and choose your friends. I'm sure there is a better and nicer guy out there for you up. He's trying to isolate you. This is a control tactic. And a huge red flag. Please choose your safety and your supportive friends over someone who is trying to manipulate you and isolate you. This could get significant other much worse. What's his job? And yes, even without the job he's half again your age. He's looking for a young inexperienced woman because if he told a woman his own age to cut out her friends she'd kick his ass to the curb. Your friend was right, the guy is bad news. He will continue to cut you off from your friends and family who see him for the yuck he is so you're isolated. Your friend was clearly spot on. No boyfriend worthy of your love and affection would ask you to cut ties with friends, nor give an ultimatum of him or them. Make it them, you will regret it if you don't. And thank Brienne.